A gunman killed at least 58 people and injured more than 500 others after opening fire on a packed outdoor music festival on the Las Vegas Strip. The man, wielding a high-powered assault rifle, rapidly sprayed bullets at revellers at the Route 91 Harvest Country Music Festival from a nearby hotel. Perched on the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay Hotel and Casino, he fired the gun for several minutes, before cops stormed his room and shot him dead. The suspect has since been identified as Stephen Paddock, a local man who police believe acted alone in the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history. Officers had earlier launched a search for a female associate called Marilu Danley, reportedly Paddock's roommate, in relation to the shooting. They later located Ms. Danley abroad and said she was no longer a person of interest.
Who is the suspect? Stephen Paddock, 64, has been identified by police as the suspected shooter. According to his brother Eric, he's just a guy who played video poker and took cruises and ate burritos at Taco Bell. Stephen was described by officials as a local man who apparently acted alone. He is thought to have been a granddad. He previously worked as an accountant but was also an avid real estate investor. He owned apartments and houses around Orlando, Florida. Paddock was living out his retirement years as a high-stakes professional gambler in a town outside the gambling capital, according to the Washington Post. Neighbors told the paper he would disappear for days at a time on his casino visits with his girlfriend. His brother Eric said, "My brother is not like you and me. He plays high-stakes video poker. He sends me a text that says he won $250,000 at the casino." However, there was no hint he owed anyone money, as his brother even showed authorities 3 years of text messages today. According to some unverified reports, he was married to Ms. Danley and had recently converted to Islam. But his brother was. However, Las Vegas police have stated they do not believe it was a terrorist attack. Today, unemotional Eric said his family was stunned, saying of his brother, "He was just a guy. Something happened, he snapped or something."
What is his family background? Stephen Paddock's father was once a fugitive bank robber who was once on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. His brother, Eric, today expressed surprise over his brother's behavior. Eric said he did not know of any mental illness, alcohol or drug problems in his brother's life. Their dad was said to be rarely around for either of his boys. "I was born on the run," Eric told U.S. media. Eric said he and his relatives were horrified by the incident. "We have no idea. We're horrified. We're bewildered and our condolences go out to the victims," he said in a brief phone interview with Reuters. His voice trembling, he added, "We have no idea in the world." According to Eric, Paddock was not an avid gun guy. What is his family background? Stephen Paddock's father was once a fugitive bank robber who was once on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. His brother, Eric, today expressed surprise over his brother's behavior. Eric said he did not know of any mental illness, alcohol or drug problems in his brother's life. Their dad was said to be rarely around for either of his boys. "I was born on the run," Eric told U.S. media. Eric said he and his relatives were horrified by the incident. "We have no idea. We're horrified. We're bewildered and our condolences go out to the victims," he said in a brief phone interview with Reuters. His voice trembling, he added, "We have no idea in the world." According to Eric, Paddock was not an avid gun guy at all.
Where did he live? Paddock, born April 9, 1953, lived in a 3-year-old, $396,000, £297,554 two-bedroom home in Nevada, U.S. records show. The property is located in the remote desert community of Mesquite, 80 miles northeast of Las Vegas near the Arizona state border. Local media said he had also previously lived in Reno, California and Florida, although the exact locations in each state are unclear. He lived in the property in Babbling Brook Court with Ms. Danley, records show.
How many guns did he own? Clark County Sheriff Joseph Lombardo told reporters that more than 10 rifles were found in the room where the suspect killed himself at the Mandalay Bay Hotel. Police confirmed they also found several weapons during a search of Paddock's home, in a retirement community in Mesquite, Nevada, about 90 miles northeast of Las Vegas. Speaking to CBS News in Orlando, Eric questioned where his sibling got his weapons, saying he had no military background or anything like that. Eric said he knew his brother owned a couple of handguns. However, given he didn't hunt and barely shot his guns, he was shocked he had access to the rapid-fire weapon apparently used in Las Vegas. Eric said his brother once took his children on a skeet shooting trip paid for by the casinos.
Was he linked to any militant groups? Clark County Sheriff Joseph Lombardo said at a media briefing that Paddock was not believed to have been connected to any militant groups. "We have no idea what his belief system was," he said. Police have said they have no information yet about the suspect's motive. However, that did not stop Islamic State claiming responsibility. The Las Vegas attack was carried out by a soldier of the Islamic State, and he carried it out in response to calls to target states of the coalition, the group's news agency Amaq said in reference to the U.S.-led coalition fighting the group in the Middle East. The Las Vegas attacker converted to Islam a few months ago, Amaq claimed. But several U.S. officials say there is no evidence to confirm that.
What did he do? Paddock opened fire on festival-goers from the hotel's 32nd floor, leaving more than 50 dead and over 400 others wounded. Local media and witnesses have claimed he was perched on a balcony, and using a high-powered assault rifle to rain down bullets on victims. The incident, which occurred at the end of a set by country music star Jason Aldean at around 10 p.m. local time, sparking panic among thousands of people. As revellers screamed and fled for their lives, officials received reports of an active gunman and patrol vehicles descended on the popular strip. Some officers were seen taking cover behind their vehicles, while others carrying assault rifles ran into the Mandalay Bay Hotel and Casino. Pictures of the scene showed victims lying on the ground, covered in blood. The identities of those killed and wounded are currently unknown.
What happened to him? SWAT teams quickly descended on the concert and the hotel after the shooting. Officers used explosives to get into Paddock's hotel room before confronting him. The suspect died at the scene, with police later stating he killed himself before they reached him. Numerous rifles were located within his room, officials said. In a media briefing held shortly after midnight, police reported that the suspect was down, but warned people to stay away from the area. LVMPD wrote on Twitter, confirming that one suspect is down. This is an active investigation. Again, please do not head down to the strip at this time. The force later said it was believed there were no other shooters in the incident. In a briefing at around 1:30 am, Sheriff Lombardo added that the gunman had been apprehended by police at the Mandalay Bay Hotel. He said the suspect had died on the 32nd floor and that he was described by police as a local man who had acted alone in the shooting. Who is Marilu Danley? Sheriff Lombardo also said that authorities were seeking Ms. Danley, who police described as a companion of the suspect, in the wake of the incident. Ms. Danley, Paddock's companion who is said to have traveled with the suspect before the shooting, was previously sought by police. Described as 4 feet 11 inches tall, the 62-year-old was named as a person of interest and a picture of her was publicly released. Officers were also looking for 2 vehicles associated with Paddock, a Hyundai Tucson Nevada/114B40 and a Chrysler Pacifica Nevada/79D401. But police later tweeted, "We have located the vehicles in question, and we are confident we have located the female person of interest." Gunfire, panic and death. At least 58 people were killed in last night's horror attack, police say. 515 others were injured. The figures make the incident the deadliest mass shooting in U.S. history. It would eclipse last year's massacre of 49 people at an Orlando nightclub. Off-duty police are believed to be among the victims of the latest attack. A Las Vegas hospital spokeswoman had previously confirmed at least 2 people had died and 24 others were wounded in the incident. The spokeswoman, of the University Medical Center Hospital, said 14 of the injured were in a critical condition and that all had suffered gunshot wounds.
The witnesses and survivors Brit Andy Williamson was among those caught up in the chaos after the attack. He was being interviewed on Good Morning Britain from the Bellagio Hotel when he was forced to cut off the interview amid screaming and sobs. Speaking to Piers Morgan and Susanna Reid, Andy revealed that he and many others had been running along the strip when they were told to go into the hotel's ballrooms to hide.
At the beginning of the interview, he had said that they were being given the all-clear and spoke about his ordeal. But noise was suddenly heard around him and he swore, "OS, hold on. Hold on, sorry, I'm going to have to go. Everyone's running, like mad." Another man, John Bissett, who was at the music festival, described how it was pandemonium as people fled for safety amid gunfire. Speaking to NBC, he said, "The band ran off stage and it was pandemonium. Everyone was running, people were getting trampled." Poker player Dan Bilzerian was also caught up in the shooting. The 38-year-old shared a video to Snapchat as he ran from the sound of gunshots. As he sprinted from the chaos to try to find a safe place, he declared, "Holy F, this girl just got shot in the F head." He also admitted that he regretted not being armed during the shooting.
Donald Trump's reaction. President Donald Trump later addressed the country calling the massacre an act of pure evil. In a subdued statement, Trump said the nation was united in sadness, shock and grief. Reading from a teleprompter in the diplomatic reception room, Trump mourned the victims and announced he would visit the stricken Nevada city on Wednesday. "We cannot fathom their pain, we cannot imagine their loss," Trump said of those who lost loved ones in the massacre. For the second time of his presidency, Trump sought to provide solace after a deadly U.S. shooting. He acknowledged the work of local law enforcement officers and called for unity in the immediate aftermath of the shooting. Speaking for 5 minutes, Trump acknowledged there were few answers for Americans still coming to grips with the tragedy. "In times such as these, I know we are searching for some kind of meaning in the chaos, some kind of light in the darkness," he said. "The answers do not come easy. But we can take solace knowing that even the darkest space can be brightened by a single light, and even the most terrible despair can be illuminated by a single ray of hope."
Panic and false reports. As panic broke out at the music festival, there were rumors of other shootings in the area. However, police have since said these reports were false. Shortly after the incident, officers told people to stay clear of the Luxor resort after a black Audi with wires sticking out was spotted. There were also reports of shots being fired at the Hakkasan nightclub, while the Bellagio was evacuated amid reports of a gunman with a rifle. Police later said claims of other shootings were not true. Las Vegas's casinos, nightclubs and shopping hotspots are a major draw for some 3.5 million visitors from around the world each year. The area was packed with visitors when the shooting broke out. The Mandalay Bay Hotel is near McCarran International Airport, which said on Twitter it had temporarily halted flights after the shooting. Later, the airport said that some flights had resumed. The music festival took place over the weekend. The concert venue was in an outdoor area known as Las Vegas Village, across the strip from the Mandalay Bay and the Luxor hotels. Other artists scheduled to play the main stage include Eric Church, Sam Hunt, Jake Owen, Maren Morris, the brothers Osborne, Lee Brice, and more. Thanks for watching video. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share the mix if you enjoy it.